Good blowing everybody. Welcome to another episode of Daily Energy. I'm your host, Araya Eden. The day's energy is one that asks for us to create. So today we want to create something. All right. It's going to also ask us to collaborate with others and kind of take some calculated risks. Now, don't take any kind of risk. It wants us to take calculated risk here. And so that's something that we want to do. This in the energy today is influencing optimism, creativity, and inspiration. So we have to find different ways to get inspired today. For me, I like watching motivational videos. Actually, conducting these daily energy videos inspire me because now I know that every day has an energy to it. And if I can just channel this energy, then I can basically make the most of that day. For some of you who are on the path to enlightenment, and if you're watching me, I guarantee you are on the path of enlightenment. You gotta be. There's no way you can have access to me without it. Okay. So you're going through an awakening, you're experiencing awakening. And right now, many of y'all have to work on fulfillment and self-discovery. So that's the first phase, fulfillment and self-discovery. And so when I talk about fulfillment, many of you know that I'm not talking about fulfillment that anybody else can do for you. Okay, other than today is artistic fulfillment, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the only three things that can fulfill you, and that's belief in something higher than yourself, your purpose, and your authentic self. And your purpose is hidden inside of your authentic self. The reason why this is so important that you know this today is because I want you to know that you are unique for a reason. You are unique to make a difference because your difference is what makes the difference. That's what's hidden inside of your authentic self. And that's what your purpose is, that thing that can't nobody else do but you. And although we can all write, we can all dance, sing, etc., there's only one person that's able to do what it is that you're able to do. And that's what you're going to be encouraged by this day's energy to do today. Is to basically foster change and explore your desires. And of course, like I said, working with others, but you want to explore your desires. See, that uniqueness inside of you is so important. Like for me, let me use myself as an example. Many people will just run past these daily energy videos because they don't understand the significance of them. It's new. And that's the whole purpose, because for me, I have a difficult time being like anybody else. I'm that kind of rebel. You see, I have to do something new. I'm innovative. I'm an inventor. So that's what I strive to do, is do something that nobody's done before. Now, having this idealistic mindset can be problematic because I told you before, it's like when you're multi-talented, you become, what do they say? Like how I can't think of how they say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can put it in the comments if you watch this video. But it's like you know a little bit of everything, but you don't master anything. But see, the key is for people who are like that, you're not trying to master a talent. You're trying to master life. You see? That's the thing. See, you're trying to become, you're practicing life mastery. So it's okay for you to have many talents. But in order to really efficiently work through this process, You got to focus on one thing at a time. We talked about that yesterday, huh? One thing at a time. And so now we learned that yesterday, that lesson yesterday. And then today asks us, hey, all right, now let's test the theory of you learning one thing at a time, or you working on one thing at a time. So now that you worked on that one thing yesterday, now we're going to see if you're going to keep doing that by telling you, create. Now, when it's telling you to create, it's not necessarily telling you, oh, go out and create something new, especially if you have an open project. It's a trick. Okay, it's a trick. It wants us to go rework what we already have going. Okay, we could create a new idea or a new concept within that invention that we're already working on, or that business that we're already working on. Okay, I mean, you know what I'm talking about if you're watching me, because you're likely the one that's got multiple businesses going on at the same time. But it's not, you don't have multiple businesses going on at the same time. You have multiple business ideas going on at the same time, but you have yet to start a business, right? So believe you me, I know, but it's that perfectionist mindset. So today asks us to explore the desires of our heart, and then we want to use the desires of our heart. We want to use that pain, that shame, that blame of the past. We want to use all of that, and then now we want to create with it. We want to make it something useful. So you want the whole thing is to lose some weight. And some people go out to lose some weight. Some people take Ozempic. Okay? Regardless of, now, whatever you do, whether you got the gastric, you got the lipo, whatever you do, all right? That's you, boo. Okay? All right? But some people do different things to lose weight. However, working on losing weight externally without working on losing weight internally is almost like a waste of time. Why? Roll with me. Why? Because the external weight that we hold comes from internal issues. You see? It's internal issues. I saw, I told y'all I was watching I didn't tell y'all. I was watching Luther Vandross the other day. It was like a documentary. Now, I just noticed something while I was watching. I was like, well, they made these documentaries, these life movies for all kinds of people, right? All the greats. But Luther Vandross was a great. Why haven't they made one for him? If they have, I didn't see it. It wasn't, like, to the best of my knowledge, well televised. So, yeah, that was just my thought process. But anyways, and let me tie this to today's energy so it's not just a ramble. So it's like sometimes you will create something and people are not going to appreciate your creativity or value your creativity, but rest in gratitude knowing that you created something. That's why we're talking about exploring our desires. Okay? Our desires. My desire is to create something that's going to be not only lasting, but that's going to help someone become a better version of themselves. Scratch that. Not a better version of themselves, the authentic version of themselves. Strive to be authentic, not necessarily to the point to where you're I was going to say not necessarily better, but I took that back because I want you to be better. But some people's idea of better is an imitation of someone else. No, be you, boo. Be authentic. All right? So today's energy asks us to think outside the box. Remember what I told you about that box? The box don't like me. They kicked me out the box. They didn't want me in the box. They said, you too weird. You too strange. We don't want you in this box. Girl, get out my box. So that I got kicked out the box, okay? I got kicked out the box like that one time I got kicked out of Lane Bryant. You know, I'm a big girl that got kicked out of a big girl store. Have you ever heard that before? Big girl got kicked out of a big girl stove. They said I wasn't big enough. I said, you don't see all this top and all this bottom? But apparently, at the time, I wasn't big enough, okay? So they kicked me out the big girl stove. So, but look, this is why creation is so important, because sometimes people will try to kick you out of something that they created. And some people get all down and they be like, oh, woe is me. But no, don't do that. Go create something of your own. So ain't nobody have no reins. Ain't nobody have no reins. And to make it worse, don't nobody have no reins to tell you where you can and cannot go in your own stove. Okay, create your own. Okay, do your own stuff. Okay, this video is interesting because I'm all over the place. All right, but you know where I'm going. Okay, therefore today will be packed with emotions, passions, and creative expression. Okay, creative expression. When this energy is blocked, it actually can cause some indecisiveness. It can cause restlessness because we're trying to go all over the place. We're all over the place trying to finish this project, that project, this project, that project. It can get tiring. And when you get tired, a lot of times, and you keep going, you get overwhelmed. And so it also, for some people, it causes stagnation. So it's like, they get so deep down in the woe is me to where they feel like, what's the point of me trying again? It didn't work for me then. It's likely not going to work for me now. What's the point? Don't give up right before your breakthrough. I'll be danged if I do. Okay? I'll be danged if I do. Give up right before my breakthrough. And you don't even know that. Okay, you're right at the precipice of a breakthrough. You're right there. And you just gotta just keep going. Because eventually it's going to work for you. Eventually it's going to work for you. If you start at the bottom, it's meant for you to eventually be on top. So can you imagine giving up right at the middle, right before you get that extra push? All you got to do is just like push, make a little bit of effort, and it's going to work for you. Can you imagine just stopping right there? I know what it's like. I almost did it. You know that song says, I almost let go. Yeah, we it's cold outside. But you know, I felt like I just couldn't take life anymore. Yeah, I know what it's like. You almost let go. You almost gave up. But I'm going to say almost because I don't want you to do it, friend. Don't do it. Keep going. You got this, boo. Yes. And if you feel like you can't do it alone, get somebody to help you, because you don't got to do it alone. It's feeling like we have to do stuff alone that causes more stress. You'll never see a king or a queen that does anything alone. They need people to dress them. They need people to prepare lunch for them. You see, there's always going to be someone that need your help, and you're going to need theirs. No leader can lead without help or followers. Okay, no leader. All right. And the higher we go up, when it comes down to success, the higher that we go up, the more that what's required of. You know how they say, to whom much is given, much is required. So to get the highest level of success, to get the highest level of success, then we're going to have to delegate. That's how we get the highest level of success, through delegation, because we can't do it alone. And it took me, friend, it took me a long time to realize that, because I'm a woman of many talents and I can do almost anything that I want to do. Okay? Scratch that. I can do anything that I really want to do. You can do anything that you really want to do. But just because you can do it don't mean you got to do it alone. You hear me? All right. So this day's energy, if we channel this energy well, it's going to lead us to balance. It's going to lead us to balance. But otherwise, if we don't balance this energy, it's going to lead us to confusion and frustration, because we feel like we should be ahead, further along. And this type of thinking leads to negativity. Okay, so we have to trash that thought. Okay, we have to combat that, and we have to combat stagnation with decisive, purposeful actions. Sometimes things don't work because you're trying to work them outside of purpose. That's not good for you, because it's like, for you, you get, when you're trying to work outside of purpose, you're unhappy because life is whooping that tail, because you're operating outside of who you were born to be, which is yourself. You're trying to stay in that box and live your life according to how everybody else is instructing you to live it. And that's not going to work for you, chosen. I promise you that. I promise you that. Eventually, you will rebel, because it's not going to work for you. Eventually, you will kick your way out that box, because you don't have a choice, because your destiny does not lie in the box. Your destiny lies outside the box. You hear what I'm saying? It lies outside. And so that's why we must channel this energy to create, but more importantly, to finish what it is that we start. All right. And so that's why I love doing this, y'all. I do, because some of us just need direction. You see, sometimes it's helpful for those that have the personality like myself. It's helpful to have direction, to know, okay, today I need to do this. Okay, to-do list. Okay, I didn't write that down today, but having a to-do list is so important, because, you know, at least at the end of the day, if you set realistic goals, you'll be like, wow, I did a lot today. No day should go by that I can't say I did something. You see? No day should go by to where you say, I did nothing. You see what I'm saying? You can say, I did something. That's why it's important. Okay? Because when you're a writer, oftentimes, when not just a writer, when you are self-employed, or when you have when you're an entrepreneur, people look at you, or even writers, people look at you and they're like, oh, you don't do nothing. What do you do? Them, you know, them jealous people, they be like, but what do you do? You don't do nothing. And here's me. I'm like, okay, you just wait one. Sleep on me if you want to, but I'm that girl. Okay? Sleep. Look at this ego. Sleep on me if you want to, but I'm that girl. Wait one. Okay? Wait one and watch and see how this thing works out. Okay? I don't move on my own. I move with God. Okay? See? They looking at your quiet time. They're looking at your escapism. They're looking at the fact that you're not doing what it is that they're doing, which is, some people are working a regular 9 to 5 and they're saying you don't work. You remember on Martin, when they used to tell Tommy about Tommy ain't got no job. Ain't no way that Tommy didn't have no job. Okay, some people don't work a 9 to 5, but they make investments. You see? They invest. And today is about investing your time wisely, using your time wisely. You see? Working smarter, not harder. So don't let them people judge you, and then you believe their judgments and their criticism. You don't really need their judgments and their criticisms. Their feedback is good, but you got to know some things for yourself, boo. Okay? For yourself, okay? Look at all this creative expression. So we're going to be asked to step outside of our comfort zones, finish some projects that we started. No, finish a project that we start. Correction. See, we already starting this thing off wrong. Okay, rework the old. Okay, if we finish the old, then that's when we can start something new. Okay, so that we don't waste time and effort. A lot of people are wasting time and effort. I was watching an episode of The Real Housewives, and there was who was that? I think it was Ashley, The Real Housewives of Potomac, and Ashley was basically, this is an old episode. I ain't caught up. But anyways, Ashley was talking about how renting was a waste of time. Okay. It's not the smartest investment, but at the same time, it's what people have. You see, it's what they have access to. And so, and it's also mindsets as well. If you've been told that's all the only option, by the time you get to the point to where you're old enough to do it, your credit already bad, child. Came out the womb, it's like your credit was bad because somebody was using your credit. So, no, that's real talk, and y'all know I ain't lying, okay? Because, our mamas taught our mamas how to rob Peter to pay Paul, okay? And then we come into the world, and our mamas teach us how to rob Peter to pay Paul to make ends meet. And so it's a generational cycle of bad credit, you see? And so a lot of people can't afford or don't have credit enough to buy a house. And so they have to work with what they have, which is encouraged today that you work with what you have. And so, but once you have more, start thinking better, start thinking more. Like I thought about buying property after I realized, man, because I was in California, I was like, man, I'm paying $1,400 for rent to give somebody else money that I'm never gonna get back. No, let me go on and fix this credit so I can buy me a little nice piece of land or something. You see? So change the way you think. You can make progress, okay, my friend? All right? Regardless of what you come from, that don't matter. Create the life you want today, okay? All right, so start new projects. Let's see, don't do that. Rework the projects that you're working on. Those who value independence may choose to work alone, okay? We talked about those who don't like to work with others. They may choose to work alone. Now, some people, I can understand how you think that's a distraction when you're unequally yoked. Oh, child, 11:11 on the clock. When you're unequally yoked, oh, my Lanta. Whoo, child, don't they get in your way? Oh, it burns me up inside. Whoo, child, they get on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie, it burns me up inside when I get distracted by people I'm unequally yoked with. But as my brother said, you gotta learn to work through it. You gotta learn to basically keep doing, although you are distracted by it. But my goodness, it is most difficult. So let me give you a head up. Let me give you a heads up that it is most difficult to work on when you're going through. But at the same time, it is very rewarding when you accomplish because you worked on while you were going through. And then you could be like, oh, that situation or circumstance thought it was going to stop me. But all it did was propelled me forward. So that's what today I was talking about. You using this to make that shame, that blame, that frustration, that confusion. When you're confused, you see painters that they just do something, right? They just go and they just throw paint on a board and they just like smear everything there. And that's how you like use that confusion, and you paint what you're feeling and you write what you're feeling. You just get it out there. Creative expression. Okay, that's what we do with that. When I was going through that difficult time in my life, I started writing because Oprah and Tyler Perry said it was cathartic. Okay, I started doing that just because they said it was cathartic. I didn't even know what cathartic meant at the time, and I realized that it meant something good when I started doing it. Anyways, and so, but that's what a lot of my writings, my poems that y'all have read, my encouragements, that was me getting some of these frustrations out of me, getting some of that confusion out of me, putting something down on paper that I can remind myself to visit later on. Okay. So that I won't forget all that good lesson, because sometimes we forget these lessons and then we have to repeat them. I don't want to forget nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because I don't want to go and relive nothing that I went through. I want to learn these lessons so that I can master life. Okay, learn these lessons so we can master life. Learn these lessons so you can master your life. Okay. So, but being with somebody unequally yoked is difficult. And I tell y'all, I wrote that poem about the narcissist. That's a dangerous situation to be in because they cannot control themselves. And so if you got to go hide from this person, if you feel like this person is following you, like, it's not play. It's serious. This is the type of person that will take you out of the world. That is the goal. That is the aim. When you look at somebody and you don't see them in their eyes, it's because it's not them. It's a demon. And this demon is the one that I call the goblin. It's the narcissist is a goblin spirit. It's the puppet of the devil. So when you look into this person that wines and dines you and this person that baked your cookies' eyes and you don't see them, it's because it's not them. All right. So you got to break away. All right. Break away for your sake so that you can create the life that you want. Okay. So connecting with like-minded people. Now I know, because I went through that narcissistic situation. I went through it. That narcissistic situation. Because of that situation, I'm able to know the importance of being with like-minded people. I bet you I will never get into another relationship in this life with someone that does not believe like I believe. Oh, you better know it. And when I say someone that does not believe like I believe, you got to have the basics. You got to have the basics. The first basic is God. If you don't believe there's a God, I'm not for you. I guarantee it. It ain't never going to work if you don't believe there's a God for me and you. Okay? Period. Because oftentimes when you believe this and somebody else believes that, they will find a way to come up against you using that person. And when I say they, I mean demons. Because the enemy, when the enemy can't get inside of you, he will start manipulating those that you love. Okay? Because He and the narcissist and them other demons, they know exactly what it is that you want. And remember, I said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places. We are unequally yoked. If we're not working together to find balance and come on common ground, I don't want anything to do with you when it comes down to a relationship between me and you moving forward to do things together. I'm going to tell you. Because I ain't going to let nobody put me back into what I've already come out of. So don't let anybody put you back into what you come out of. And the only way they can do that is by throwing you off balance. So when you're unequally yoked, you're off balance. I'm not talking about twin flame connection. I'm not talking about water. I'm not talking about fire and water. That's balance. That's equally yoked. They share the same spirit, so they can't possibly be unequal. They are united because they're equal. I'm talking about those who are being hellish to be hellish, and they're seeking you out because they see your potential for more, and so they want to latch onto you to pull you down. But all that weight, remember I talked about weight earlier? All that weight is just going to pull you down. Because not only are you trying to carry your load, but you're also trying to carry their load. Because you got something going for you, they don't got nothing going for them. I'm just going to be honest and keep it real with you, boo. You got something going for yourself. And it's holding you back. That trying to people please. You got to let it go. You got to get outside that box, get outside your comfort zone. It's safety, but it's not why. And no, it's not even safety. It's you feeling like you're safe, but you're not really safe there. Okay? You're safe when you're fulfilled. And the only thing that's going to fulfill you is belief in something higher than yourself, your purpose, and your authentic self. You're safe when you're balanced. And I say that safety, you're safe because you're safe. You're in the hands of the divine. You're in the arms of the divine at that point. You walk with him. You talk with him. So anything that try to come up against you at that point got to go up against him. But before then, a lot of times what will happen for a teaching moment, he'll let things slide and come near, because it's the energy that is teaching you how to manage, how to overcome, how to get stronger. So if you use this energy wisely, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to work for your good. Okay? Have I not been your God long to this day? Is it my habit to treat you this way? It's not God's habit to treat you this way. So consider that it's not God. It's the energy. And the energy is trying to teach you to act in your best interest. Woo, child. All right. So the day also promotes a sense of curiosity that leads to meaningful exploration. So when it comes down to meaningful exploration, we must self-reflect. We must go into a state of self-discovery. And so that's what the day is asking us to do, is discover who we are, who we truly are, who we are authentically. So we got to go in to find what that is, that purpose. Okay? So meaningful exploration. So these are things that's going to be beneficial for your purposeful becoming. Sometimes we'll just be creating just to create. No, create to start that business. Make sure it's going where it needs to go. I'm taking a long time to do this. I know. And many of you like, dang, it's been 5-6 years. And I ain't seen the product yet. Don't mean it ain't one. It's just not published. Okay? You see what I mean? So it's working towards something big. And when you're working towards something so big, sometimes you can't just put all of that out there, because people like to steal. Okay? They like to steal. All right? And because I got stealing yesterday, they might be stealing today. All right? So today we are encouraged to like work towards a common goal when we're working together, but work towards a goal, okay? Like create towards a goal, because the whole point is to become productive. We want to become productive. So get to the point that we're producing. And it's not so that we can work for people for the rest of our lives. Absolutely not. That's not going to work. That might work for you, my friend, but that's not going to work for me, okay? I can't work for somebody for the rest of my life. I'm too much of a free spirit and a rebel. Okay? So that means I'm bound to start my business, okay? I got to, okay? Bound is a word of the day. Some people are bound as in they're headed towards something. And some people are bound to give up because they feel like they are not headed towards something, okay? So success and failure it starts in the mind. I can be arrogant at times because I know my value. I know my self-worth. I know what it is that I can do, and I will never doubt that. Not now. You see? So when I stand in the mirror, I might not always say it to y'all, but I do. I talk myself up. I talk myself up. I be like, girl, you got this, boo. Go on, get it, girl. You know what you can do. You got to do that too when you start feeling depressed, okay? You got to talk yourself up, tell yourself all kinds of good things about yourself, because the world sometimes will tell us all kinds of bad things about ourselves, what we can't do. But you got to believe for yourself that you can create something meaningful, not just for yourself, but for the world. You can innovate in this world to make a difference. Okay, so the day also comes with, other challenges in that it will, all this idealistic energy, it could be, if we're overly accessing it, it leads to like unrealistic expectations. And you know what I told you about when you expect, right? When you expect, you set yourself up for disappointment. Nobody is disappointing you. You're disappointing yourself by setting yourself up, by expecting something from someone that they don't even have the capacity to give. You're actually here to give them. They're not here to give you. Okay? So that's why it talks about how we are to be the lenders and not the borrowers. So right now, some of us are asking the lenders. Some of us are asking the borrowers to lend to us. You see? But they don't have nothing to give. All right? Well, they don't have nothing to give to us. They have something to contribute, but they can't contribute to the chosen. Okay? Although there are many benefits to harness the day's energy, it will have its challenges. This is indecision, selflessness, misunderstandings, heightened sensitivity may overlook important details, and these important details are going to lead to more criticisms. So today we must balance optimism and realism. It's important that we learn to achieve our goals, manage our expectations, reflect on our emotions, and communicate effectively. This energy teaches us to focus, commit, and prioritize. It encourages us to not spread ourselves too thinly and collaborate when necessary. It guides and It guides us to channel our enthusiasm into purposeful, decisive actions. Those actions that are going to allow us to create something in a productive way. We have the opportunity to explore, create, and inspire today. So let's utilize this energy to really make a difference in this world. To make the most of this day's energy, we must take time to self-reflect, assess goals and assess goals and aspirations, align with our goals and values, align our goals with our values, align our goals with our values, explore ideas and projects, set aside time for brainstorming, take calculated risk outside of our comfort zones, create and let our imagination freely fly, connect with like-minded people, attend a workshop. Some of us can attend workshops if you want to. This could be online workshops. It's just so that we can connect with like-minded people. These are just options of what you can do to make the day more productive. Inspire and get inspired. You could learn something today as you did yesterday. Practice gratitude and be appreciative. I'm grateful that I have made it this far, although I was going through before. I made it through because I kept putting forth the effort and I was using my time wisely. I was using my time to cry out to God and say, Father, I need your help. Okay, let me not keep repeating the same cycle. Let me break the cycle. Let me keep pressing against this same side until I get a breakthrough. And I'm still pressing through to get a breakthrough. But I do see my progress. And I congratulate myself for the progress that I have made. You see, the process is tedious. But when you start seeing the progress, you start to learn to appreciate the progress, the process, you see? You learn to appreciate the progress. All right. So practice gratitude. Be grateful. Thank you, Father. Okay. Meditate on progress and journal. Reward self for progress. Okay. So reward yourself for the progress that you have made. So when it comes down to the predictions today is the day when I would tell you be in the house at a decent hour. There's going to be many people focusing on the money. Okay. There's going to be people leveraging, using money to leverage or something like that. I'm getting like fighting jujitsu, like that type of energy coming in. So we might see something about that on the news over the next 1 to 3 days. I'm seeing more something about bouncing and skipping. So something that is going to be loosed today, on the loose, on the run, rogue. I'm getting some things being turned over today. So there's more there will be more machine accidents. Okay, cultivation and plowing. If you're in the warmer climates, there's going to be mass transition in the spirit because I'm seeing urn. So there's going to be mass transitions into the spirit. So hearts go out to those who have a loved one transitioning or a loved one that has already transitioned. Okay, there's going to be encouraging music, dance, this type of thing. But people are going to be on the go. And there's going to be more people that are going to be following the leader, so to speak. And so there's going to be over the next 1 to 3 days, fast-paced, rushing energy. I'm getting something about Vietnam or Vietnamese food. There's going to be something being rejected, or there's going to be expressions of rejection, foolish and stupid actions. Okay. And comments on those foolish and stupid actions. Something coming in about hogs, things being split open. So that could be another earthquake. These could be buildings split in two. These could be vessels, because I'm getting buildings, vessels, and dogs. Working parties and frustration. Okay. Well, I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening to all of my creative expression. I pray you the best today. Okay. I wish for you the best today. Okay. That's what Gublewan means. It means good, blessed, and wonderful. So that's my wish for you today. That's my hope for you today. That's my prayer for you today, my friend. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. I only have one hand free today. Again, I'm holding my phone. Take care. Bye.